Welcome to Devine Systems, Biblical Entrepreneurship. This presentation will be guided by Dr. K. Sabanda. Here's our agenda. We'll cover the divine mandate for work, creation system blueprint, stewardship and efficiency, and inspired systems, financial wisdom, talents and legacy. We'll also discuss faith and risk balance, and rest in his provision. Let's begin with part 1, divine mandate for work. Work is a God-ordained purpose. Genesis 2 verse 15 shows work as a divine assignment, not a punishment. Adam's stewardship shows dignity, responsibility, and purposeful engagement. Work is a divine calling, and it involves caring for creation. From survival to strategic wealth, we move from daily labor for subsistence to diligence, foresight, and planning for legacy wealth. Scripture calls for diligence paired with scalable vision, like Joseph's grain storage in Genesis 41. The wisdom of the ant. Proverbs 6 verses 6 to 11 warns that slumber breeds poverty. Ants model self-driven preparation and teamwork, urging entrepreneurs to embed discipline. We need self-motivation, preparation, and teamwork. Now, let's explore part 2, creation system blueprint. The 6-day framework for business. Genesis 1 reveals a blueprint. Day 1. Light and darkness establishes cycles and order. Day 2. Sky and water creates balance. Day 3. Land and vegetation provide structures and resources. Day 4. Sun, moon, stars involve strategic timing. Day 5. Marine and avian life focuses on diversity. Day 6. Land, animals, and humans emphasizes leadership. The self-sustaining design. Trees reproduce without micromanagement. Emulate this by creating closed-loop systems that bear fruit perpetually. Implement automation, scalability, and feedback loops. Nature-inspired business models. Consider the water cycle. Standardize processes like balance. Automate with technology like SaaS. Recycle value like Amazon Logistics. Let's move on to part 3, stewardship and efficiency. Adam's management mandate. Genesis 2 verse 15 appoints humanity as stewards. Entrepreneurs must mirror this through responsible oversight. Accept responsibility, monitor systems, and manage resources sustainably. Empowering delegation culture. Effective stewardship demands clear vision, SOPs, and empowerment. Toyota's Kaizen shows how this yields excellence. Vision leads to SOPs, which lead to empowerment and then KPI audits. Next, we'll look at part 4, and inspired systems. Self-guided operational excellence. Proverbs 6 verses 6 to 8 praises ants needing no overseer. Build businesses that embed self-motivation, preparation, and collaboration. We need self-motivation, preparation routines, and collaborative workflows. Case study, Starbucks. Starbucks trains partners for ownership, forecasts meticulously, and fosters teamwork. They demonstrate how ANT principles produce scalability and customer loyalty through partnership, meticulous forecasting, and global teamwork. Now, let's discuss part 5, financial wisdom. Diligent plans yield profit. Proverbs 21 verse 5 links careful planning to profit. Entrepreneurs must budget, forecast, and avoid hasty expansions. Consider financial planning, risk mitigation, diversified investment, and avoid haste. Joseph's famine-proof strategy. Genesis 41 shows Joseph storing 20% during abundance. Replicate this by building surplus funds and contingency plans, creating an emergency fund, and using scenario planning. Integrity in all dealings. Proverbs 11 verse 1 condemns dishonest scales. Maintain accurate records, transparent reports, and ethical pricing. Let's explore part 6, talents and legacy. Discovering God-given gifts. 1 Peter 4 verse 10 commands faithful stewardship of gifts. Audit passions, seek feedback, and align abilities with market needs. We need self-reflection and feedback, experimentation, and prayerful alignment. Case study, Dave Ramsey. Ramsey leveraged communication and financial acumen to build Ramsey Solutions. Talents can generate income while advancing kingdom values through education and generosity. He identified need, provided value, and served the community. A legacy for generations. Proverbs 13 verse 22 calls for a legacy that blesses grandchildren. Embed spiritual values, diversified assets, succession plans, and mentorship. Case study, Hobby Lobby. The Green family built Hobby Lobby on Sabbath honor, generous tithes, and ethical sourcing. They demonstrate how faith-driven practices create enduring corporate influence through faith-based principles, generosity, and community impact. Now, Part 7, Faith and Risk Balance. Trusting God in uncertainty. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 calls for trust. Prayerful submission grants peace and guidance, enabling entrepreneurs to navigate risks confidently. We need peace of mind, divine guidance, and wisdom to discern. Biblical risk-taking examples. Noah built the ark. Abraham left his homeland, and Esther risked her life. Their faith was rewarded. Practical risk mitigation. Balance faith with steps to protect your venture while remaining open to God's redirection through research and planning, diversification, financial prudence, and insurance and compliance. Case study, Chick-fil-A. Truett Cathy closed Sundays despite revenue loss. The policy attracted loyal customers, proving faith principles can outperform tactics with a faith-driven decision and customer loyalty. Let's move to Part 8, Rest in His Provision. The promise of rest. Matthew 11 verse 28 invites the weary to exchange burdens for soul-deep peace. Resting in God dissolves anxiety. We need spiritual peace, emotional relief, and renewal and strength. Rhythms of Sabbath balance. Set boundaries, practice self-care, delegate tasks, and schedule Sabbath to sustain emotional health and long-term productivity. Commissioning faithful ventures. Entrepreneurship becomes worship when systems, finances, talents, and risks are submitted to God to generate wealth, serve communities, and proclaim His rest. Thank you. This presentation was brought to you by Dr. K. Sabanda.